Today, we're at a disclosed location. That's correct. We are in Merced, California. Believe it or not, I live nowhere near Merced. I was just passing through town on my way to see my mom and my dad and my aunt and my family. And boy, did this catch my eye driving down Highway 99 at Child's Exit in Merced is this homeless camp in this field. Now, I don't know who's the farmer is on this field, but they plowed right up to the edge of them. You can see that. Now, this homeless camp has always been here with just a few people, and it always has caught my eye, but this time I came down, well, boy, there must have been a half a mile of people living in the mud. That's correct. It's been raining really hard here in California and throughout the United States, and it's been cold and muddy, and these people got the front row seat to the train going by, and the train, well, unfortunately, all the passengers, they have the front row view to this. And this is California, believe it or not. This is not only this stretch of highway. You see this throughout the state. And even on the way back home, I've seen a lot of these camps off in the brush where they were a little more discreet. But this one was in your face and you could not miss it. So, like I said, I stopped on my way home and I thought I would give this camp a little bit of attention because I know for a fact that Merced, well, they cannot have people driving through their town and seeing this. This is just a bad look for Merced, California. So I think this is the final stop of that bullet train that is supposed to happen someday, but that's not really going on. So yes, and I want to just say in these videos, I am not criticizing. We could all end up this way. So let me just start out by saying these are humans, and we all end up in different places in life. So I am not making fun of these people. I only have compassion for my fellow humans. On the other hand, I don't think it's right for a civilization to let their brothers and sisters live in these conditions. Now, unfortunately, our border has been wide open, and these people have trekked a long way to live this way. They've come from Guatemala and Mexico and all throughout South America to live next to the highway and Highway 99 and all throughout the valley. But I did notice that most of these people were migrants or illegal aliens or undocumented citizens. There's so many names that people keep changing the name, so we don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, so we just call them by whatever name feels better. Like these people are called previously unhoused, and a lot of them are formerly in the justice system. You don't call them felons or criminals anymore. You call them previously unhoused in the justice system. Doesn't that sound better? Sure does to me. Well, I don't think it makes it better. Like I said, these people are defecating and getting their water, and you can see some camps, just like the camps around here in Oakland, are clean, and some camps are dirty. You can see one camp up here, they just throw their trash right in the field. But like I said, that farmer, he is still taking care of his field, so These people must be, this is how they're getting away with it. They are on the railroad track property. That's what I'm thinking. So this farmer, he's kind of in a little pickle, like, hey, they're on my property. Well, not really. They're splitting the line between the railroad and your property, but in any event, there is no good answer to where do these people go. As a matter of fact, this is probably why this camp has tripled in size, just because they probably got ran out from somewhere else. As you can see, right on the other side of the highway is what they call Motel Row. So anybody that visits Merced, well, they're right across the street from the have-nots. That's the problem with today's society, is we have the have and the have-nots. And we've always had that, but today the have-nots are sleeping on the sidewalks and on the railroad tracks. Now, I'm sure this is what some people called back in the 30s and 40s shanty towns. That's right, we used to have shanty towns, and we wouldn't run them around from town to town. We would let them stay at a place just like that. But there's a good example of all the mud that these people are living in. And it's been dry for a couple days, so just imagine when it does run. So for some reason, these people get that little chunk of land right next to the Merced Cemetery. So if you ever are burying a loved one, well, that's got to make you think twice about society and the world we live in. You can see that that group of people has like a whole community of people living right close to each other. And this person, well, he wants a little isolation and he just lives by himself. So I am surprised that some people live by themselves and some people like to be in groups. And maybe those groups are families that have traveled all the way. I don't know. These are answers that I will never know. But like I said, they do have cars, and I'm sure they do have jobs, and I'm sure they do get government assistance. And we really can't blame them for that, because if you're living in these conditions with no heating and no plumbing, well, cut the person any kind of break you can, I would say. Or you just do like the old days where we used to have a sign that says, "Do not feed the bears." And we wouldn't give them any government assistance. And the bears, well, they would have to fend for themselves. But nowadays we give them free phones, free food, free money. And now, today, the credit card is now the new food stamp. So in the old days, like I grew up on, I'm afraid I was ashamed to say that I had to grow up on food stamps, and they were a certain kind of money that looked different than everybody else's money. But not today. Today's food stamp is an EBD card, and it looks just like your credit card. So you don't know when you're at Costco who's on the government dole and who's actually getting up and going to work every day and paying for someone else's money. Now, back in the old days, we used to collect beaver skins and other animal skins, and we would trade those skins for other things in life that we could use. But now we want other people to take your beaver skins. So it's just not right that some people get up and go to work while other people's just take. But that's just an old complaint that I've been making for a long time, that the government waste of money has got to stop. And it's funny how it's stopping and people are mad. Well, there's old Motel Row. You can see all those people that come to visit Merced, and you can see that the motels are pretty empty. So I don't know if it was just this day or if they built too many motels on Motel Row, but there's definitely a lot of motel space here. And right across the way, like I say, if you got a top floor, this is your view. So I did get attacked by pigeons right there, and boy, those pigeons scare me every time. They will take down a drone, so I tried to get as far as away and as high as I can, and they kept following me. You see that? So it was time to me to rocket up into space as high as I can and get away from those pigeons, because this drone is my baby, and I don't want to lose my babies to some dirty old birds. So I backed off and I went to another spot and got a little more shot before I ended this video. But I'm always fascinated by the down shot, so I took a little bit of that. And this is where you can see where the mud is dried up. And the people, this is their road in and out of this facility. So if you ever want to give them some water or bring them some food, that's the road in here. That's the road they were using to drive in and out of here. But Merced is a beautiful town, but it's got big city problems, just like all the rest of California. How long will we put up with this? This used to be a beautiful state, and we didn't have problems like this. I don't know. I guess it's been at least the last 10 years. It's just gotten so bad, especially the last 5. And this last couple years after COVID, well, I guess we use COVID for an excuse for everything, and that's exactly what happened here, is we just let the border run wide open and the money flow freely. So it's time to reel in the reins and make people work again. And they don't need to be sitting around all day in these conditions. You know, we need to put them to work in that field. Maybe even clean up the trash that there. You can see the trash in that field right there, all around that camp. He's the dirty one. Yeah, you need to start policing themselves, because the government, well, they can't hardly afford themselves. And now you want them to take care of people in motels and hotels. That's not cheap. The only one that's getting rich off of that is the homeless industrial complex. That's right. You've heard of the military industrial complex where billions of dollars are wasted? Well, we have the homeless industrial complex where millions of dollars are just disappearing before our eyes. So where does that money go? If we put millions of dollars into a problem and it's only getting worse, where does the money go, and how long do you keep dumping money into something? And by the way, why would you want to fix a problem when you keep getting paid to ruin it? So we live in a backward society, and I tell you what, it's only going to get worse. But this is where I like to say, I'm going to end this video right about here. But this is where I like to say, if you have a roof over your head, and you have clean water, and you have plumbing that flushes all your crap away, if you got a soft bed and a roof over your head, well, be grateful. That electricity that you just flick on and charge your phone, well, these people have a hard life, and it's not easy, I tell you what. So, like I said at the beginning of this video, if you think I'm judging, I'm not. I just think this should be shed some light on. This, all over the world, they should see how disgusting California has become, because these people are definitely not flushing their poop. It's going out in that field, probably burying it, and then we grow crops on top of it. I guess it's always been that way. It's probably good fertilizer, wouldn't you think? I don't know. That good fresh fertilizer, never been chopped, just straight from the butt. Well, like I said, this place is right next to a cemetery, and all those dead people never thought that they would have all this commotion going on in their backyard. And I tell you what, these people sleep during the day and they stay up during the night. This is a proven fact. I've seen news stories about it, and neighbors have moved out of their own houses because at night is when the party starts. These people stay up at night and they sleep during the day because it's safer during the day to sleep. At night, they got to be on their toes. So, if you have a lock on your door and a soft bed and a roof over your head, we'll just be grateful. I know I am, and these videos make me more grateful than ever, and hopefully they'll do that to you. Well, that's about it at this. I would say that's at least a half a mile of homeless people, maybe less. In Merced, California, right off of Highway 99 at Child's Exit. Well, as always, I'd like to thank you for coming along with me on these Merced homeless camp adventures right off of Motel Road and Child's Avenue on Highway 99. You know the drill. Peace, love, and all that hippie jazz. Bye-bye, everybody. It's apparent we got gangs of bikers here in Merced, California. Gangs of bikers. Thousands of them. At least tens of them. Gangs. Gang, gang, gang.